guests here this evening, which on a hot, sticky, tropical evening like tonight is a fantastic achievement. So well done to all of you. I'd like to acknowledge the contribution played for organising this evening to Linda Jordan Hay, who unfortunately can't be with us this evening, and also to Di Thomas, where are you Di, our hard-working general manager there, and to Steve Wood, the new part-time admin assistant at the head office, who's now actually enjoying his honeymoon. That's to make it a bit more romantic. Looks like we're going to do some dancing this evening. Just before I introduce our guest speaker, let me just tell you a sort of brief update on a few important issues. Membership continues to grow, and many of you here this evening are hard-working members of our validation board, which at the moment is led by Emma Thomas, who can't be with us this evening. I think this month already we've validated over 20 new members, and I think some months the numbers have been even higher than that. So we're on target to exceed the 1,000 that we've got this year, and there's a lot of keen interest out there for people to join the Institute. It's been 10 years now since this man, Jeff Whitfield, one of our founders, probably the founder actually, asked me if I'd be interested in joining this organisation. So my membership number is number 20020. Remind us, Jeff and Di, who is 007? Who? Chris Smith, who's now sitting in Hong Kong, who's a former director as well. I thought those would be a good opportunity to remind you, especially our veterans, and those of our guests this evening, because I only found out this week exactly what newer members are getting in their joining packs when they join the Institute. So these are the typical contents of a member's joining pack. First of all, a very thick member's handbook, which I have here in my case if anyone wants to see one. A very helpful member's handbook. A letter confirming acceptance with the grade awarded, which is associate, member or fellow. Can you hear me over there? No? Gosh. Can we turn that fan off? Yes? No? No? Okay. I'll try and raise my voice even louder. So new joiners will get a letter of acceptance, a Here For You membership card. This is something that's done in arrangement with the Worshipful Company, which provides members with a sort of helpline if they run into distress or whatever may happen to them in their personal lives. There are business cards for Di Thomas and myself. There are training leaflets. There's a supporters logo, which can be used on your headed note paper. A membership card order form. All new members are now entitled to get a membership card free of charge. It looks like this. How many of you have got membership cards, by the way? On a show of hands, quite a few. For those that haven't seen them, they look like that, except with your own faces and not mine on them. There's also a CD with electronic versions of all of the above and some samples of best practice guides. And of course, a very nice membership certificate to hang on your office wall or your study wall at home. Now just turning very briefly to activities, some breaking news for you. First of all, I urge you to look at SMT Online and look up an absolutely astounding article. Is that a microphone? Fantastic. I urge you to look up an astounding article on the licensing security consultants, written by my loyal and hard-working Vice Chairman David Gill over there. This article was in response to one put out by another professional association, and it's absolutely excellent, and there's been some fantastic responses already. I urge you to look at David's article. And let's congratulate David on achieving his Masters in Security Management. We can keep this going actually, there's a few more. There's Danny Adendorf over there. And where's Anders? Anders Bromley over here. I'm going to come back to him in a minute. There's also a little article that I've put out on Infolog about in-house licensing, about a response to, well, at least my personal response to the decision not to license in-house teams. It can be controversial, but I urge you just to have a look at that as well. We won't always agree on these things, but that's my take on it. So you can see that STI members are staying in the spotlight. In terms of further news, Anders over here, I'm proud to tell you, was the recipient of the Imbert Prize by the Association of Security Consultants. So you've got to give him another round of applause for that. And an equally young gentleman by the name of Christopher Brogan, sitting just to the left of Mr. Whitfield, was, well, I was to say Chris Brogan, LLM, MA, have I left anything out there? And of course, yeah. And of course, member of the Institute, was a close runner-up in another category of the Imbert Prize. So please, a round of applause for Chris, who has worked so hard for us over the years and continues to do so. Now look, before I finish, there's just a quick update about chartered status, because we've had quite a significant development last week. A few days ago, Ken Livingstone, not the old Mayor of London, but our own Ken Livingstone, who, as you know, is an academic, ex-military policeman as well, and a fellow board member. Ken and I met with a gentleman who is not probably, but is one of the UK's leading experts on chartered status, and is very close to the Privy Council. And I just want to say to you that as a result of that meeting, we are now very clear on the path that we need to take to achieve chartered status. It's very, very clear to me, and it will be very clear at our next board meeting to my fellow board members what needs to be done. So we're absolutely, buoyed by that news, and I hope to have more to report to you about achieving chartered status over the coming months. It's not going to be a quick process, but we at least now have a plan, and we know what we need to do and when we need to do it by. So we will update you on that as soon as I get more news. And just finally, for those of you that need certificates of attendance, Dia has them if you want them on the desk. So if you need certificates of attendance tonight for CPD purposes, grab them from the desk.